How does your product use or challenge conventions? And how does it represent social groups or issues?
So our product was a movie, and the genre of that movie was action. And I think that was easily portrayed by the combat roles that was played there. In the beginning, there was tension. We illustrated that by an establishing shot to show both characters. Um, and then the fight scenes were obvious that showed that there was obviously a problem in between characters. And we showed that and we conveyed that. And we challenged that by using angles and different movements and canted angles and so on and so forth to illustrate that there's actually some type of tension being built and there's action going on. So it makes the viewer feel a little bit uncomfortable, but at the same time, they kind of want to know what's going on. How does it address social issues? The good characters portrayed in white, bad characters portrayed in black. So we already drew that correlation right there. We also touched on betrayal, because if you pay attention in the film, the antagonist has a tattoo marking on his arm that also shows up after the protagonist wakes up. When they meet again, which is not shown, we don't make that obvious, but when they meet again, you can also see the tattoo, and the protagonist asks, where did you get that tattoo? To kind of show that maybe he feels some type of betrayal in his dreams. So that's how we touched on social issues. We touched on good and evil, and we touched on betrayal.
How does your product engage with audiences, and how would it be distributed as a real media text?
The way it engages with the audience is it's action. Everybody sees action. There's no hiding action. You know when it's there. It was built with the tension in the beginning. In the beginning, when you both see both characters, myself and my partner, the punches are there. It's swinging and everything. And I definitely think that the audience would be like, wow. Not the artist. The audience, excuse me, would be like, wow. After the hip toss, when I got grabbed and I got slammed into the ground, I think everybody would kind of be like, whoa, because we used a full body shot, so you can see how high I was and the impact on the fall. I think that was really good, and that would make the audience say, wow. And if the audience is paying attention, you'll be able to see the tattoos on the the antagonist's arm, and when they match up again, you'll be able to see that, wow, they actually might be the same person, and it leaves that suspicion in the beginning. How would I distribute it? We use social media, from like Facebook to Instagram to Twitter. We can use that. We can also, if we have enough money, we could also do commercials and make advertisements. We can use billboards, anything of mass media we can utilize, especially since we're youth, we know how to use it best.
How did your production skills develop throughout this project?
I feel like it developed as a content creator and also as an actor, because personally this is the first time I've ever edited one of our videos that we've created. Our video meaning my partner. My partner normally does all the editing. Me personally, I just act in the films. So, but this time actually touching the software for iMovie actually was like, it actually became easier for me because it was simple to use, it was simple to catch on to, and I feel like I did a pretty decent job. As an actor, I felt like, putting myself, a little bit in a harmless way would kind of like increase the effectiveness to the audience to see, wow, that hurt, or wow, that's kind of crazy. So I think as an actor, I feel like I was able to portray myself to the audience so they can kind of see the physical pain, even though the pain wasn't really there. So I feel like that's how my production skills got better.
How did you integrate technologies in this project?
So we used two things. iMovie, and that was majorly for editing and cutting and using different filters, and not really filters or anything like that, but we added text and so on and so forth. So that was really what all the iMovie was for. The rest of it we used my 12.1 megapixel camera to film basically the entire film. That was about it.